Hello and welcome. The ICC Women's World Cup is already underway and India will begin their campaign on Super Sunday against arch rivals Pakistan. Here in this short video, we are going to take you through the players to watch out for if India are to lift their maiden ODI Women's World Cup. To start with, it has to be the opener Smriti Mandana, who's arguably one of the best in the business, not just in India, but in the entire world. Well, she's had some incredible scores in the recent past, and her performances may decide how India eventually does in this tournament in the Women's World Cup. India, as part of the build-up to the World Cup, India played a series against New Zealand in New Zealand, but didn't win a lot of games. Smriti, of course, was undergoing quarantine at that time. The only game she played, or the last two games she played, India won one of them as a consolation win, but Smriti's performances did make the difference eventually. Hopefully, Smriti does well in this tournament and her performances does make a difference. Herman Precor, who became a household name back in 2017 when she smashed an unbeaten 171 against the mighty Australians. That still remains the highest individual score by an Indian in a World Cup match. Well, that changed a lot in Indian cricket, but of late Harmanpreet's form wasn't too great. But thankfully, the warm-up games, if they are an indication of Harmanpreet's form, well, she's back. She's had some decent scores in the warm-up games in the lead-up to the World Cup, and hopefully she will be the finisher that India is looking for. Richa Ghosh, she's just 18 and has played only 7 ODIs in women's cricket, but in these limited opportunities that she's got, she's already made her mark. In the 7 games that she's played, Richa has endured single-figure dismissals only twice, with a knock of 65 being her best score with the bat. And she also holds the record for the fastest 50 by an Indian in women's cricket as far as ODIs are concerned. Mithali Raj, the old warhorse, will be back in action this time for her 6th Women's World Cup, and she would be leading India this time again. Well, Mithali Raj is just 363 runs away from becoming the highest run scorer in Women's World Cup history. Well, India would surely be banking on her experience and her ability to soak in pressure, especially at a stage like this. Last but not the least, Deepti Sharma, the diminutive off-spinner, will be among those that India would be banking on. Well, Deepti Sharma made a name for herself when she got 12 wickets at the Women's World Cup in England. This was in 2017, and she ended up as the 5th highest wicket taker in that tournament. Not just with the ball, India would also rely on Deepti Sharma with the bat. Well, she's had some decent scores recently. In fact, last 12 months in ODIs, she's got over 300 runs in 15 matches at an average of 30. And that also goes with those 15 wickets that she's picked in the last 12 months. So surely India's chances in the World Cup would depend on a lot of things, but also on these players.